So we were fortunately muted when Giovanni said that because we don't need Panda Bear trying to claim us or Pooh Bear. Um, Hi everybody, we are live. We're doing yet another episode. I am, as always, joined by some people. Today we've got Giovanni, Alex, and Jen. As always, is the faceless. She's the woman of many faces in our group. How you guys doing?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
So we are, believe it or not, reviewing a movie, even though it's going to take us 6 hours to get to it, because that's how we roll around here. But we are reviewing a movie. If you couldn't surmise from the title, we're going to be doing B.J. Novak's. I believe he wrote, starred, produced. I'd love to congregated that marriage. This entire movie. The movie is titled Vengeance, spelled incorrectly, or is that the way to spell it? That's incorrect, right? Vengeance. It's like
Vengeance.
I feel like that's two different names, like Venge and then Vance, and then just shove them together. I don't know why they would do that. But yeah, so Alex and I believe, had talked about this movie early on when it was still just in theaters, and we didn't realize it was going to have such a limited run as it did. Yeah. But we were talking about it, and then all of a sudden it showed up on fucking Peacock. And I think we were going to review The Black Phone, and I had just happened to see, I was like, oh shit, Vengeance is on Peacock. And we were kind of talking, and like, we're not, we understand we're not the, how do I put this? We're not the hippest. Like, we review a lot of older movies, we're not clout chasers. We're not trying to tag our way. It's shit that we enjoy. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to play the trailer. I got to be honest, fellas. I didn't love this movie. See, this fucks up my screen every time.
So before you start the trailer, when you recommended this, Matt, 30 minutes in, I'm like, am I watching the right movie?
I know, dude.
Is this the right movie? Because I told Matt, I texted him, I was like, I saw the trailer, and the trailer looked pretty good. I was like, oh, this looks like a thriller mystery whodunit, like this
comedy
looks really
type,
cool.
It's BJ Novak of The Office. It's gonna have some funny wit in it, and like, to be fair, there is some funny wit. There are some good lines of dialogue, mainly delivered by Ashton Kutcher.
Exactly. Yes. I was gonna say that.
Who, by the way, still has
best lines
in his old age. That man has aged well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Michael Kelso's got that chiseled fucking jaw still. He's a good-looking man in his 40s. You got to give him credit, and he just happens to fight child trafficking quite a bit. So, like,
he does.
Yeah,
I kind of dig him for that. You know what I'm saying?
While looking like a child pornographer with that fucking mustache.
Oh, dude, that was the whole thing. Is like it's almost like when you watch Game of Thrones and you're looking at Jaime Lannister. You're like, this guy, I despise him, but in real life, he's just like devilishly handsome. I will say, out of all of the Game of Thrones people, I think that actor, I can't remember his actual name, but the guy who plays Jaime Lannister made out the best. Like, he didn't go, like, to number one. He didn't try to do AAA movies. He did movies that were kind of indie, and then he did, he was in Headhunters, which I believe was his native Norwegian movie. That's really good. So he did smaller roles, like, there was that one where it's called The Boss or some shit. It's a very violent gang movie set inside the prison system. Can't remember what it's called entirely, but it's really good. But yeah, I think at least the movies he's made post Game of Thrones were some of the best. Because I know that Jon Snow did that Pompeii movie, which they tried to like basically mix Pompeii the story with Gladiator.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, but the problem is Pompeii has a very definite ending.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the heroes and villains are, they all fucking burn. So, like, I don't know, movies like that are weird, right? Where it's like, for me at least, if I go into a movie where, like, I know the story, like, if somebody's like, hey man, like, I know you haven't seen this movie based on a true story, like, I don't want to spoil it for you. Like, Mike was talking about that, about the Elvis movie. Where he's like, do you want spoilers? I was like, I'm pretty sure I know the way the fucking story ends, bro. Like, I don't know how much at this point you can spoil for me for Elvis's true story movie.
History pieces, I think are interesting. Like that, I think that's why like Selena gathered so much. That was probably the biggest one.
Selena gathered so much because name me one other movie that isn't La Bamba that celebrates Spanish music culture.
I don't think it's
El
was so much that.
Mariachi,
I mean,
the
she
original
was
Robert Rodriguez movie, maybe.
But Selena
Yeah.
was so huge, like that
She
movie.
was
That's why that movie
skyrocketed
landed.
Jennifer Lopez to start.
That was another good move, yeah. That they got Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
to...
that was the whole thing. Is she was relatively
yeah,
unknown at that point. I think she might have been Jenny from the Block at that point, you know.
Yeah.
But that movie rose her to stardom.
I think she just came off that one movie with Sean Penn right before this. Oh God, what was that one?
Voice?
No. But it was Sean Penn and Jennifer Lopez. Now it's gonna fucking drive me nuts.
Was it a love story or?
I don't
No,
like
no,
Sean
no.
Penn, so I have no idea. What
It's along the lines of Lost Highway. I think it's the same director, fucking Blake. What's his name? Richard Blake or whatever.
Not Cronenberg. Lost Highway.
Then Richard Blake starred in it. Then
Get your facts straight, then come back to us. Let's watch.
I only know
trailer.
Jennifer Lopez from 2 movies.
What movie?
Selena and Made in Manhattan. That's it.
Damn, you don't wait. What? The Cell?
No, I only still know her from
You
2
suck.
movies. Yeah,
Made in
that's it.
Manhattan instead of The Cell? I don't even know
Well,
if you have a man card.
My
That's
wife
fucking
and
revoked.
her family watches. My wife loves that fucking movie, so
So
she
you know what
watches
you
it
do? You
every
say,
other
I've
time.
got another Jenny from the Block movie you guys would love. And then when they see Vincent D'Onofrio coming from pain torture, they're going to understand we're in a different realm here, okay? We've graduated to a different level of familia. Here's the trailer.
I have a story.
Welcome to Texas.
That wasn't the trailer.
I have a
That was
story.
literally a fucking...
Okay.
Just let it play for a little bit.
in West Texas, where this family just lost their daughter to an opiate overdose.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's not someone I was close to.
But you flew to Texas for it?
Yes. It was a girl I hooked up with a few times. Her family thought that we were more serious than I did.
I've heard so much about you.
I've heard, yeah.
All right, so once again, this trailer is 2 minutes and 46 seconds. You can sum up, and I guarantee you if I played any more, they would sum up the entire fucking movie in this 2 minutes and 46. But we're not going to do that. Like, I don't really give a shit about a copyright strike for playing a trailer at this point. I'll fight it. But if I play this trailer, I mean, do you want to do an experiment? You want to play? My bet is if we play this trailer, we've seen the movie, right? We're going to spoil it for you guys tonight fucking anyways, right? Who wants to bet that this trailer... We've all seen it, so Jen's seen it as well, so she knows exactly what's in it or what could be in it. I bet you 10-1, the whole movie's given away. You want to do a science experiment? Let's do it.
yeah, let's try.
Guarantee you. And guys, we're gonna spoil the movie for you anyways. Just think of this as a pre-spoiler, I guess.
A pre.
We've seen it, so you guys. Here's the thing: not knowing what's in the movie, you don't know what's being spoiled. You don't know what scenes, but we know, so we're gonna go, okay, we're gonna report to you just how much this 2 minutes gives the movie away. Writer director BJ loves you.
What?
Where's Kelly? Why wasn't Kelly in this movie at all?
It would have been really cool if they would have used her as his editor instead of the actress they did.
You couldn't have made her Abilene?
That
if you didn't
yeah.
want to pay her a high sum, make her the chick that dies in the very beginning. Like, how is Mindy Kaling not included in this movie? That's just my first thing. My first gripe when I was watching it. I can't remember what else he was in. I feel like he might have been in the Wolverine movie. Logan.
I thought he was in Sandman.
That is not Thomas Hayden Church. If you're thinking
It looks like him.
Definitely not Thomas Hayden Church. I get the white guy blonde thing, yeah, but that's Thomas Hayden Church like maybe 20 years ago.
He was in Logan, The Predator, The Host.
That's
Predator,
right. He was
okay.
in that awful rated R Predator movie where he was a bumbling idiot and
That's
Olivia
right.
Munn was a scientist, badass soldier chick. Yeah, no, it's not this guy's fault that movie sucked. Two things. It was bad writing and Olivia Munn was the hero, you know, the scientist doctor. She was also a badass. Not the bus full of soldiers that eventually get slaughtered one by one, but Olivia Munn. You know, it wasn't this guy's fault. But yeah, okay. I liked him in Logan. He was the guy that was hunting the girl.
He's also going to be in Indiana Jones 5.
Am I the only one that feels he would make a good Gambit?
Oh, he would make
He
a good
threw
Gambit.
on a little
That's
that
true.
Louisiana Cajun thing.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this movie, though, everybody's fucking acting was just shit, and as the movie went on, it started to get better.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Like, it almost feels like they were doing a play, and the first 20 minutes, everybody was stiff from nerves.
It's funny. I feel like once they got to Texas, the acting got better, but everybody in the city life was terrible.
Well, that was John Mayer.
I will say John Mayer was pretty funny how they're talking about like how he's got like 6 different girlfriends.
But I think John Mayer was actually acting like himself. He wasn't really playing a role, because that's probably how he thinks of himself.
I don't know. I've heard he's a fairly humble dude, which here's the thing. He's got to be somewhat humble to be okay with being on screen portraying himself as a piece of shit womanizer. Like he's got to be somewhat enough removed from that in real life to be okay with it. Because like if he was just like going out there mistreating women, like he might be a womanizer. But that's really not his fault. If women are okay with doing it, how is that his fault? It's no different than, I mean, we're all equality now, right? So like, I'm not going to judge John Mayer for slinging dick, just like I'm not going to judge a chick for fucking sleeping around either, because you can't anymore. You can't slut shame. I'm not going to slut shame John Mayer.
Taylor Swift would say otherwise about John Mayer.
But... Yeah, but Taylor Swift is not a real person.
Taylor Swift only sucked dick to write new songs, okay? Every guy she fucked in Hollywood had a new fucking song. She had albums full of different dicks she wrote music about. That was her, like, thing for a minute there. Like, I'm sorry, if I date you, like, what's-her-face that dated Joey Gladstone and got huge off, You Ought to Know that song, Alanis Morissette. If I'm Joey Gladstone, I go, you should get on your knees and fucking thank me that I was in your life and made you so mad you made a fucking song about me, because you would be nowhere if it wasn't for that fucking song. You would be no one. Taylor Hawkins would have been in Foo Fighters earlier. Because he started, I believe, with Atlantis. Either her or Sheryl Crow. He drummed for one of them.
Really?
Yeah, he actually, he was either in Alanis Morissette or Sheryl Crow. I think Alanis Morissette, but he crossed paths with Dave Grohl, and kind of like the vibe he was given, so went from either Sheryl Crow or Alanis Morissette to the Foo. Somebody just left the Discord. What happened?
It was Giovanni.
Yeah, my video froze.
You asshole. No problem. Sounds like you're back in. I should probably turn the noises off, but whatever. All right, let's continue this trailer. Now, remember, guys, our objective is to tell these viewers, the none that are watching, how much is given away.
We won't avenge her death.
So, as like a personal boundary, I don't avenge deaths. But here's what I can do. I'm gonna record everything that you think happened to Abilene. And we'll put it on a podcast, and we'll see where it leads.
What evidence does he have that it was a murder?
Nothing. And that's the story.
What's this podcast about?
A new American reality.
Goddamn Ashton Kutcher with a pedophile mustache, a cowboy hat, and a shitty Texas accent. Best part of the movie, guys.
Dude, every scene he's in is the best part of the movie.
He's the best acted. His lines are the best. Like, yeah, I want to see him in more things after seeing him in this, because he does such a good job of playing this character. And by the way, his ultimate turn, his whole character arc, 1,000 miles away. I saw it come.
Yeah,
we're going.
His in this scene right here, he fucking pulls his boot off and starts massaging his feet. And I thought he was gonna like end up reaching out to, shake hands or something. It was funny. I was just looking at this. I was like, what's he gonna do next?
Well, you first are introduced to him by him coaching a young singer on how to give the fullest, and it's a beautiful kind of way he tells it. It's reminiscent of, if you guys have seen, Jennifer, what is that movie with Dax Shepard and his wife? We just watched
Hit and Run.
Hit and Run. The beginning of Hit and Run starts off with, they're under the blankets, and he's basically telling her, like, you're exactly where you need to be. Everything's okay. I love you. And it was kind of like a ritual they have. And, like, it's a beautiful scene because she's legitimately, like, tearing up. Like, because that's her husband. Even though it's a scene, it's still her husband. But it had that sort of thing. Like, there was a lot of... Maybe that's my problem with this movie, is some characters, some scenes have a lot of weight. But then you get those spots that are just either too goofy or they're devoid of any, like, sort of real,
like the hospital scene with the family.
Yeah.
That went, like, completely the other meter. Like,
yeah, exactly. With the whole thing of, like, also, by the way, the whole premise of this is fucking asinine. if you're would any one of us honestly not just say, look, I hate to break it to you, we banged a couple times, but we weren't serious. I'm sorry for whatever she told you, but I'm not flying to Texas for a booty call that's dead now.
Yeah. I would have been like, no, I don't even remember we were talking about. I had to actually search for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we never dated. Like, because that's the whole premise is BJ Novak's just living his life, and essentially he gets a phone call, and a former hookup of his has died. So he's going back to her hometown, which is a fairly okay premise. But he also kind of walks through the movie almost with this, like, whatever. Like, and we'll get to the ending. And the reason I have a problem with the ending is because his character never, like, there's nothing about his character that would say what he does is what he was going to do.
Yes.
He's just 100% the opposite guy in the whole movie. But let's continue with the trailer, see how
he
much
even points that out through the whole movie.
He even says it, and then the other thing is he even acts on it where, like, this guy's definitely a pussy. Like, he doesn't stand up for himself. He doesn't do violence in any kind. He's anti-confrontation. And then you get the ending. You've never been in a fight. Exactly.
What do you mean, on Twitter?
Keyboard warrior, yeah. Keyboard warrior BJ.
Where people invent these conspiracies.
You got deep state, pill pushers, cartels, the law.
Because the truth is too hard to accept.
My Prius exploded.
Oh my God. What if you're driving a real car with gas?
So real quick pause.
Yeah.
So we're halfway through the trailer. I'm already getting like, this is a man out of place. There's going to be some sort of villain who's going to come after him.
Totally poorly marketed. It doesn't give you the vibe of the movie at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this movie feels a lot like the movie Small Town Crime. This trailer is a movie about a dude who is unwillingly going to be thrust into violence and his own life is at risk. Not true, by the way. We'll go into why.
The problem isn't that these people aren't smart. The problem is that they are.
How do you take your coffee?
In the mouth.
If you want people to open up.
Okay, perfect example. Scenes like that, right? That scene is 5 seconds of funny, but it's a 1.5 minute long scene. Yeah. Remember, there's like 30 seconds of him preparing the coffee and getting the Amazon packages and everything before that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Unnecessary. You could have just had him get up that morning, just go straight to the kitchen, have her come in real quick.
Why aren't you in a hotel?
That's true too. Yeah.
Like the whole time you stay with these fucking people, like, come on.
You gotta act like one of us.
Who here is a diehard fan of the University of Texas? And who here is a fan of Texas Tech?
Once again, poorly marketed, because that scene makes this movie seem like it's funnier than it is. It makes this movie seem like, you know what? I can have a belly laugh. That's a good, funny scene. This is the most you're going to laugh in this movie is that scene, and it's a chuckle. Like, the some of the lines are well done, but they're not funny. The movie's not funny, in my opinion. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang had funny. Had Val Kilmer insulting himself for being gay. Like, there was so many good lines in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and the lines that come out of here that are memorable are like Ashton Kutcher's speech. Like, nothing BJ Novak says do I think is heavy in any way.
But to be fair, Ashton Kutcher's scenes are very heavy. Like, those are heavy scenes. Like, you know, the speeches he gives, the conversations he has. Like, the funniest scene I thought in this movie was the grandmother talking about Alamo.
The grandmother like was funny, you're right.
Yeah, the grandmother was hilarious in this movie.
She was the funniest part. And how she's like, no, you got to have this gun, and then you're signed on for protection.
And he's like, no.
She very much had like the grandmother from the Beverly Hillbillies sort of vibe. Like,
absolutely.
You're right. The grandmother is the best character on the funny angle. Ashton Kutcher is the best acted character. I think that's fair to say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, it made me want to see more of him. Like, the last movie I watched, I haven't watched The Ranch. The last movie of Ashton Kutcher's that I can honestly remember watching is the Steve Jobs movie. And I thought he was great in that as well.
Oh, yeah, no, he's good.
Like, if you haven't seen that movie, it's actually a really good fucking movie.
I liked watching The Ranch. It was good.
I'll try to get over Danny Masterson.
But Ashton Kutcher is another one of those like comedians, if you will, like acting comedians, who, when he plays serious roles, does a very good job at it.
Well, see, I don't understand why he hasn't been inserted in more things. Like, okay, for instance, the Matthew McConaughey role in From Wolf of Wall Street. Ashton Kutcher should have been in that role.
Oh yeah.
Like it's those sorts of roles that, like, even if it's a small role, I think he would. Like this wasn't a huge role, even though it's technically. By the way, spoiler alert: he is technically the central villain. I like this. I think we should just dissect the trailer from now and do our review as we dissect the trailer.
I'm glad. Okay, so to bring that up, the villain part, he's not a villain who's wrong. Like all his speeches, you're like, shit, he's kind of right. Like you can't really. Even the speech at the end, you're like, yeah, you're.
I also do feel the movie the writing gives his character enough credit that while technically he is a bad guy, he's the movie. Okay, so let's continue the trailer and we'll go into more spoilers. Okay.
What if she was murdered?
This just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Looks like 2 pairs of Prince cowboy boots.
Calling out an APB to find 2 men wearing cowboy boots.
Which, by the way, by the end of the movie, everything is literally spelled out for you.
Yeah.
Like there is not one little thing that you had to think about at all, because by the final 5 minutes of the movie, it's like, by the way, this is how everything connects. Like there is no mystery, and I think the movie does it on purpose. And we'll go into it after we finish the trailer.
What happened to her? Why do you care so much? Why do you care so little?
You're so lucky you knew Emily.
I really don't know what you saw in me. Art sees art.
Texas has a full river.
You can't solve something like this with a 45. It's the breakdown of society is what it is.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's very wise.
You're gonna need a 12 gauge, couple of ARs, Western automatic, and a sidearm for safety.
Exactly.
You're gonna need that sidearm for safety. Okay, that's the trailer. You know what that makes me think of is have you guys seen the comedy skit about Californians moving to Texas?
Yes.
Alex, have you seen this? All right, we'll play a little bit of it because
oh god,
it's political satire. Best way to put it. But we'll watch a couple minutes of it because it's pretty funny. There we go.
Honey, someone's coming to the house. Someone's coming to the house. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Who are you call the pops? I'm gonna call the pops.
We're recording you.
No. It's okay. I'm just your neighbor. Coming by to say howdy.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're not used to people stopping by to say howdy without assaulting us first.
I do have to say, if Texas really is like your neighbor comes over to say howdy with a fucking 45 on his hip, goddamn do I want to move to Texas so fucking bad.
Robbing us or defecating on our lawn.
Sometimes all three.
Defecating on our lawn.
The trifecta.
You see his face is like, what
We're
the
from Los
fuck?
Angeles.
Like he had that
Just
look
moved
like,
to
where did you used to
Texas.
I
live?
figured.
Oh, the California plates?
Well, yeah, and the masks. Inside your own house. No one else around. 2022.
We just want to be extra safe.
We feel naked without masks.
We'll probably wear them for the rest of our lives.
We'll be buried in them.
What the fuck?
Well,
That was kind of
you
creepy.
seem like a lovely couple. Like I said, I just wanted to drop by and welcome you to the neighborhood.
Why? Do you want something?
Oh, no. They're, I think he's being friendly. People around here are friendly, like we've seen in the movies, right?
I thought that was just make
Just like in the
believe,
movies,
like
guys.
superheroes or families that go to church.
No, that's a myth. This is real life.
So, I live in that house over yonder. Name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Tiffany. She, her.
Well, check out the rest of it when you can. But yeah,
it's so good.
It reminded me of that because at one point they noticed the gun. He goes, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "No, it's okay. We all got him. Everybody around here's got a gun." And like, so that's the scene from Vengeance. Remind me of that. So yeah, Vengeance essentially, and that's where the marketing really goes wrong. I think for the movie is they really try to paint it much more as like almost like a crime noir.
Yeah,
and
that's why when I saw that, I was like, I'm interested in this movie.
Yeah,
and
so was I.
Novak wrote it.
I mean, that's the thing is like him doing a crime noir with his writing style like works. Like he could be, in my opinion, it should have been dark, but still had great writing. Like much darker than what it was. Like this movie, in all honesty, I think one of its big problems is it's too goofy.
A little too much.
In the sense that like there are scenes that should have been heavier that weren't. So when you have the scenes that are extra goofy or extra light, there's an imbalance there.
Well, that's the problem I had with Ty's character. At the beginning, he was this goofy fucking guy that was, you know, grieving over his sister, you know, being dead, and then he wants vengeance, and you know he gets him to come out to Texas, and then by the end he's like, "Come here, you know, I got you, you know, I'm gonna take care of you, and we'll clean up the mess." Like his character just went different. But like every fucking scene at the beginning, he's got this goofy face every time, you know.
Well,
like,
I mean, I will say I have a problem with that too, right? Because like, why does he have to be a goofy dumbass?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't he a legit tough guy in any way? Like, it's almost like, can you name me one character that is a legit masculine character? Even the fucking cartel dude behind the scenes isn't very masculine at all. Like, it just doesn't seem realistic in the writing. It's written from a perspective of a New York liberal who doesn't understand that side of the world. And I'm not saying it, you know, whatever. I'm just saying in his writing, it's clear BJ Novak has zero understanding of what that side of the world's actually like.
Yeah.
It's also the brother, his knowledge of what's going on versus the way he acts just doesn't fit well. Like when BJ Novak's character gets there, his brother's like, yeah, we know this guy. He's with the cartel. You can talk to him. He goes to Hero. Like, he has all this info that, like, but his behavior is like, you wouldn't know that shit. That shit would be oblivious to you.
Well, that's the whole other thing, right? Is the whole movie, and this is where the real spoiler comes in. The whole movie, and one of the things where the cartel guy and her brother both had the same exact reaction of, she wouldn't touch an Advil. I was like, okay, something's weird about that. So then when you get to the end of the movie, it's revealed.
That crawl guy, yeah.
Yeah, it's revealed that she, in fact, does have a pill-popping addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is the real problem in the movie, right? You're at an hour and like 45 minutes long of movie, and the conclusion really is that she OD'd in a place that they dump her. And literally, BJ Novak shows up, and surprise, surprise, spoiler, and this is where I say I knew exactly where Ashton Kutcher's storyline was going to go, is from the moment you meet Ashton Kutcher, they try everything they do to make you seem like he's not a bad guy. So from that moment, I understand he's the bad guy. Like that's one fatal flaw of this movie is they try so hard to paint Ashton Kutcher in not a shitty light. It's clear if you're a moviegoer that he's going to be shitty. In fact, if he wouldn't have been the villain in the end, the movie would have been much more impactful. Like if BJ Novak came across a different person who was the villain, and Kutcher ended up saving his life or something like that, the ending would have been much better. But
like if it would have been one of the two cops or something, because they said,
yeah,
you know,
not only that,
we weren't there. Like
here's the thing:
motto.
what if let's say, so spoiler alert, Kutcher in the end basically doesn't even admit anything. He's just talking nonchalantly and just tells BJ Novak that, yeah, you know, and while BJ Novak's in the room, they're taking away another girl who's just overdosed. He, like I said, they spell everything out. He sees the footprint in the dirt, and you understand immediately that Ashton Kutcher, while he may not have killed the girl, was in the room when she OD'd and was just dumped her in an area between 4 different police counties that nobody's going to give a fuck about. And so you quickly realize that essentially Ashton Kutcher's just a piece of shit who, while he's not killing anybody, has no problem dumping their overdosing bodies in a field with no cell phone reception for them to die.
Also, they even though they're all overdosing, they still might have survived.
Well, yeah, they're overdosing.
They're
not dead, but the whole idea is they're going to die in that field. Now, this is where the movie doesn't make sense to me in the portrayal of the character. Nothing about BJ Novak's character is acted or tells me that he would do what he does, which is he does shoot Ashton Kutcher dead. He does take that tough guy step of ending the cycle of this disgustingness in this area. So big props to him. However, the scene is so weak.
I think what they did for that scene though is the first shot he misses completely, and I think that's what they're trying to show. Like, oh, he's really not a killer, and he never would have done this. And they were trying to use that as like, this is why it happened.
I'll agree with you, but then I think it's on BJ Novak's terrible acting.
Yeah,
he didn't do a good job. Yeah, and
selling it.
Not only that, his character type through the whole movie, that ending, no matter how justifiable you felt it was, did not work. It didn't work because of his character type.
Yeah, the rest of it, he's too light. The movie's too goofy. Yeah, it wasn't heavy enough for that.
Now, I will say, what I thought was going to happen, and I really thought this was going to happen, the brother has been up his ass the whole movie. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go. They fight. When he shows up, the brother's like, what are you doing here? Why do you have my gun? I thought that was going to trigger him to follow him, listen in. And when the first shot happened, I thought it was the brother who shot from outside, who came in and kills him because he hears everything. That would have been a better ending to me.
Here's the thing. I think, honestly, you could have kept it with B.J. Novak killing him, but I think you should all you got to do is change the atmosphere, right? So, like, here's my ending. If you want, if the storyline has to be Kucher dies by Novak's hand, then have it be as they're walking to the tent, there's thunder and lightning in the background. Part of their conversation ends with Kucher going, there's a storm coming. Might want to hunker down. Like, as part of, like, oh, they'll never find her. And Novak's like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, there's a storm coming. Where we put him, they don't look. And as he's talking, like, and then you start to hear the rain hit on his tent. You hear the thunder and lightning. You have Ashton Kutcher sit back, and all you have is the background storm as the audio. You have Novak mutter something like, you're right, a storm is coming. And then Kutcher go to say something, and in the middle of his sentence have Novak plug him. I think, honestly, him firing and missing does nothing for me. I don't, like, for me, because it wasn't acted the way it should have been, I got nothing out of that scene.
I could see that too, because like if he was the way he was, he would have never fired in the first place. I can see him shaking with the gun maybe, but the fact that he pulled the trigger in the first place, like, nah, like, that's it. You've crossed that line. You're over that boat.
It would have been great though if they would have brought in the Mike and Dan, the cops, where like Kucher goes to kill a Novak and they show up and shoot Kucher, and like Novak's just like, how are we going to explain this? And they look at each other and accident. Like, that would have been at least a darkly funny joke, because their whole thing was Mike and Dave only say things are an accident, right? So it would have been a darkly funny joke if they, like, one of them shoots Kucher as he's about to try to kill Novak, and then Novak's standing there like, do I have to go in? Or like, how are we going to handle this? And one of them is just like, well, that looks like an accident to me. Or they look at it, like that whole thing. Like, there's lots of things that comedically and writing wise and story structure wise, I was disappointed in. I like BJ Novak. I think his office work is amazing. Maybe that's why I'm so disappointed, is it's just, to me, I saw the trailer and I had a certain idea in my head. And it just, like, I feel like if the Nelms brothers wrote this movie, it would have been fucking amazing. They did Small Town Crime and Fat
somewhere
Man.
in there.
He wasn't in Small Town Crime. Small Town Crime wasn't a big one. Danny Glover.
Also,
reaching fucking Lethal Weapon.
The trailer also points out that BJ's character starts caring about the girl and wants to solve the crime,
family.
which does happen.
And her
Here's the
family,
problem, though. Here's the problem I have. There was not enough solving. There was not enough, like, what's really going on here? I felt that
that's because
Ashton
they tell
Kutcher's
you right
character,
at the end of the movie, he just tells them, hey, yeah, by the way, I'm a bad guy.
I feel like Ashton Kutcher's character, as smart as he is, that phone, I felt like the blowing up of the car, there should have been more attempts on BJ's character's life.
But remember, the blowing up of the car wasn't Ashton Kutcher. That was the hillbillies, because he stood up in like the Texas University of Texas. That had nothing to. That was just coincidence. It had nothing to do with the murder. Which is once again,
it was some people messing around with tannerite.
That's to my point. That's the only example of danger on BJ's character's life.
Which,
until the last 25 minutes of the movie.
Even then, he's more of the threat to everybody, because even in, like, I get it, he's in Ashton Kutcher's tent. It's ominous, but Ashton Kutcher is being so fucking honest with him, and just like they're buddies. I didn't feel he was in danger in any way, shape, or form. To me, it was Ashton Kutcher basically whipping his dick out and going like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I've got money. I know what's going on in this town. And it was BJ Novak going, you are the poison and I need to end it. Like, I get the dynamic is heavy. I just don't feel it being portrayed in the movie was treated properly. There was a certain, the whole movie is almost like it's on a cloud, and then I'm supposed to come down to earth for the ending, and I just didn't think it was great. Not being on Twitch it's really just another website. I've been on YouTube for a very long time. It's the original home of the podcast. Welcome. I'm sure we can all manage, baby.
There is also a major plot twist that you guys haven't talked about yet, and it's so throughout the whole movie, BJ Novak's character is portrayed as Abilene's boyfriend. Now, the reason why her family is under the assumption that that is her boyfriend is because she has him saved. Oh, she has Ashton Kutcher saved under his name. So she's going on and on about, oh, Ben this, Ben that. And they're under the assumption that BJ Novak as Ben is her boyfriend and not Ashton Kutcher as Ben saved on her phone. And he doesn't realize that until after the whole Whataburger scene where he blows up on the family.
He's not able to get the access code until like third act.
The youngest brother,
Which brings me to the point of like, there could have been more attempts on his life, a little bit more scaring of him, and him not understanding why until that phone scene. That phone scene I felt would have been more impactful that way.
Well, also these people are supposed to be garbage, right? Like he tells them all off, and then he sleeps in their home.
That's weird. Yeah, that was weird.
Like that didn't make any sense. Like I'm sorry, but if I don't know these people, and I just stood outside of a Whataburger parking lot and told them all they were fucking garbage.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch me sleep. I mean, that's like Phil Hartman telling his wife he's going to leave her and then going to bed in his house. Like, doesn't make any sense.
Let's sleep on it tonight.
Yeah, like, I'm leaving you, darling, but I'll be asleep right next to you, knowing the bitch was cuckoo. Like,
yeah, that was a weird scene.
Like, that's the whole thing is like, there's just a lack of gravity to the situation, to the characters, and the storyline in general. Some of it's well acted. There's some good lines in there. But the problem is I don't know what to categorize this movie as, right? Because it's not a comedy. It's really not a thriller. It's not really a drama because it's too goofy for a drama. It's not a murder mystery, really. Like, yeah, you kind of have to label it because that's the central topic. But it's really, there's no clues are really ever found. Nothing's really investigated. He kind of just walks in this, and all he does, it's like a point and click game where he just talks to people. And then the whole movie is just like, I talked to him. Here's my podcast episode, person in New York City. Like, I don't know. I thought it was, I really wanted to like it, and I was pretty disappointed. I'm gonna give it, honestly, I'm gonna give it 2.5 hot dogs out of 5.
I'm on the same boat there. I was thinking 2.5. And you know what it is? It got that high of a score because there's good acting in here. But I wanted more of the mystery, the chasing after, a more defining moment where he realizes, I want to solve this crime. I wanted more of that.
Here's the thing, tie the ending back into, like, make every one of those scenes where they were alluding to him being in danger, at the end, show me how he wasn't in danger, and it was just him reading into the environments too much. Like the car,
that'd be a good one too.
The car blowing up is the hillbillies getting back at him for rooting for the wrong Texas team. This uneasy feeling of him being watched was because the brother was watching him because he felt bad because they fought. Like, give me reasons why all those scenes that were supposed to be tense but weren't tense enough, why they weren't so tense, because everything was just all in his head type thing. Like, missed opportunities.
The ending also with the mom talking, it made it seem like they were trying to copy 25th Hour with the dad talking at the end about, maybe you'll go on.
I hated the end of that fucking movie. Dude, I like that whole movie. And then the end where he's just like, you're gonna get on that boat and you're gonna go down to Mexico and you're gonna be there for 3, maybe 4 years, but one day your family's gonna show up. And then it's showing her show up to Mexico and him reuniting, and then you're gonna have children. And then one day, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, boom! Right back in the fucking car on the way to prison. And he's just like, that's a decision you can make right now if you want. It's really up to you. And it's like, make that fuck. I've seen the ending of that, and make that decision.
That's what I felt when I was watching this. I was like, what? It's all about regrets. You got to regret this to get here.
Yeah, dude. 12 fucking. I like. That movie ending is so, because you got Brian Cox just driving. He's like,
yeah,
you're gonna blah blah blah, and you're gonna blah blah blah. But then they show his whole beautiful half Mexican fucking family in Mexico on the beach when he's retired and he's old and he's sitting like a fucking mob boss for some reason. And then it zooms right back into the fucking Jeep his dad's or station wagon.
Isn't he also leaning up
him.
against? Isn't he also leaning up against the window? And it's like raining and shit or something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah, he's just like looking out the window like. I mean, he's got to go to prison, so it does suck.
Yeah, that whole ending is you got to be kidding me.
I'm going to the hoo-ha.
I'm sorry, but
I totally
like,
understand.
If I'm like, I'd be like, Dad, if that's really like how you thought, like I could. Why haven't you said this sooner? Like you had a whole fucking plan about how I can escape this, yet you're still driving me to jail in fucking New York. Like, what are you doing? Let's go to Mexico. You just laid out a whole cool plan. And it's just an afterthought of right before you fucking turn me in.
And how do you get there from so far up, far up in New York to Mexico in that quick a time?
That was the other thing. Is it's just like, yeah, it's just like yeah, we could do this, but he doesn't have. He's just like, I mean, but I think he does give a plan of like, we'll smoke. That thunder. But he does give like the whole plan, and it's just like we're gonna smother you through a boat or some shit. I don't remember what the initial getting out of the country is.
It'd be a lot easier for him to go to Canada than
right. Like it's just over that. Well, does Canada extradite though? I think
they do.
Oh,
I think they do.
The whole idea is you got to go to a country that doesn't extradite.
I don't think Mexico and
Cuba,
Cuba, and South Africa. I believe.
Maybe it was Cuba that he was going to.
Because Cuba doesn't extradite.
It was one of those Spanish countries that doesn't extradite. Is like the whole idea of him like escaping to. But the problem with that movie is the movie. Alex, you didn't give your hot dogs.
No, I have not. It is a 2.5 for me as well. Like I said, at the beginning of the movie with the actors, their acting, it didn't. Even BJ Novak, his acting ability throughout this whole movie is kind of like dry. It's just like
he also like
monotone.
If you watch The Office and you look at him now, you're like, oh Ryan, you look so terrible.
He looks
like,
very old.
He did not age well.
He, like Ben Stiller aged well. He aged like shit.
Either he was doing a lot of coke during the Office days to write that shit, or he just has not slept since he finished The Office until now.
Well, he got used to that fucking rich white guy lifestyle, right? Where
yeah,
it's,
that's true.
He eats good. He probably eats good foods. Like he's one of those dudes that goes to dinner and doesn't go, how much is that? Like he's probably lived in that sort of life for a long time, and because of that, his face looks like putty. Maybe that's what it is.
I have a friend that he runs triathlons. He's a vegan, but before that, he was a hunter. He would hunt deer, everything, and he would make his own venison. I'm sorry, not venison, but he would make his own venison jerky and all that shit.
What was his reason for flipping? Because that's quite the lifestyle change.
Because his wife is a vegan. He married into a new lady. And she's a vegan, so he went, veganism as well.
I'm just gonna say, if your wife is Jewish before you marry her, if she's vegan before you marry her, you don't gotta jump into the culture.
Dude, take this from somebody who understands my place in our marriage. I have the nails, I wear the lip gloss, I clean the house. I'm fine with it. But if my wife has a lifestyle change, I'm not gonna fucking change my lifestyle for you.
To be fair, Lewis, I believe at one point was vegetarian, was he not?
Yes,
he was.
And now I'm pretty sure he'd eat a bloody piece of meat if he had to.
And he came to the realization that he's not getting enough nutrition in his diet.
I mean, I just want to say to all you vegans who are on a plant-based diet, I commend you for having more self-righteousness than I do. But I thought science told us that plants can feel pain.
Yeah.
And that's the case. You're causing a lot of plant pain, people.
You're still killing a living thing.
By the way, how much biodiesel is used to farm your plants? Anyway... Jen, you watch Vengeance. What's your hot dogs?
Oh man, this thrown me on the spot here.
Forget about it. Mute your mic. Go on. Sorry.
I like you guys was hoping for a better ending. They could have written that, or he could have written that ending a lot better than what he did. I'd probably give it a 2.5 or a 3.
Which is it?
I'm gonna say a 3.
You're out of the house.
All right,
you're entitled to your
no.
opinion.
I think watching it, she was much more tolerant of it than I was. Like by the first half hour, I was like, "What the fuck, bro? Something's not right about this movie." And I think she was enjoying it, but by the end, Like, I asked her after we finished, like, what'd you think of it? And she had this, like, it was good. But
yeah, I mean, I liked the movie as a whole. It was just the ending that could have been better that has me on like the fence of 2.5 or 3 hot dogs.
So we're gonna rock it for
understandable.
2.5. So we're all in unanimous.
Also,
decision.
this movie has an
Locked in.
odd arc. Like the movie's an hour and 42 minutes, and honestly, it kicks in 25 minutes till the end.
Yeah, it's almost like it's okay paced, slow, okay for a little bit, and then slow, and then it's like, by the way, this last 25 minutes, you're gonna have a murder. You're going to have the entire, plot spoiled and said to you. Like right here, this 25 minutes is where everything is outlined and nothing is like, so it's, I agree. It's one of those things of like, we need to hurry up and finish this bitch. All right, we got 25 minutes. No problem. I'll write the ending.
Also, the macho character of this movie was the fucking Marine, the Marine cop in what is the Border Patrol?
Disagree. I'm going to say it was the grandmother.
Was it?
She was kind of a bit of a tough shit.
So much so that I thought she was a lesbian for a second between her haircut and her like toughness. I don't know why. I was like, but that doesn't make sense because like she wouldn't have had kids clearly unless she adopted. But they didn't talk about that.
So if this movie has made an impact on me at all, I would say it once, or for me, I want to try Whataburger. I want a fucking Frito pie, and I want some fucking Flamin' Hots with nacho cheese on it.
Oh my god, Flamin' Hots with nacho cheese. I'm gonna let my wife go pick that up tomorrow.
I told you, I'll take the regular Cheetos. I'll take the Frito pie though. I wouldn't mind trying that.
Have you tried Flamin' Hot with nacho cheese and fucking taco meat inside?
Here's the thing.
Okay, do you know
I
you
could
can go to
literally
Costco and buy the box.
Delicious.
I literally have a giant can of nacho cheese right now.
I do too.
I could go get a bag of Flamin' Hots, but one thing, do you know how bad that is for you?
I don't care.
Like you're not 13 in it anymore. If you eat that, you grow a new ass. Like it's bad for you.
I feel it.
What Giovanni was talking about, you can go to Costco now and buy the boxes of chips that they're called tacos, taco bags or whatever. And it's just instead of the bags going this way, they're sideways. You cut the top and it opens up into a bowl, and you put the taco meat inside and whatever toppings you're gonna do.
Good.
Clearly, you could. That's all you take. We've been going for an hour, and the only fucking input you have to give is you can be lesbian and have kids. Are you goddamn kidding me?
I'm a lesbian.
I even said that. I believe, Fabian, go away. You don't get to watch the Hellraiser trailer, which I haven't watched yet.
Dude, it's so good. I'm excited.
I am a little angry because Hellraiser should have a dick. So I don't know what.
Well, no.
The funny thing is, the actress
race,
does because she's transgender. That's the.
But that race, I thought Hellraiser was like not particularly.
Here's the thing: is the
spectrum.
The original Hellraiser, the whole idea was like heavily influenced by the BDSM movement. So the concept was necessarily, it wasn't about gender. Like that's why they had several different of the actual demons.
Yeah, there's like fluidity between them.
Anybody bitching about it being, and I think the actress who's actually in it is a male to female transition, or vice versa. I know she's a transgender actress.
Well, she looks fucking amazing.
I don't understand why it matters. Like I've read a lot of uproar about like her being a transgender as the new Pinhead, and I don't get it. I
don't understand either.
They even took the actor out of context in his quotes to make it seem like he was against it. And all he was saying basically was, I don't think it matters what gender the portrayal is. Like it was beyond gender. That wasn't the main idea of the character. Like
that's such a shitty fucking thing to do.
Well, they took his quote of basically he was like, I don't think it fucking matters. Like as long as the performance is done right. And they took that and used it as him like bashing the fact that they had a transgender actress and it wasn't a guy.
God.
So there's a whole bunch of fucking drama about the Hellraiser being a woman. I don't get it, to be honest with you. But we're gonna watch the trailer because I haven't watched. I hate how YouTube videos trailer starts now. How about you just fucking start the trailer? Like, why does it always trailer starts now? Yes, we get it. All of the
beautiful, isn't it?
No,
it's really nice. You can hold it.
Hey, you guys know who that is? That's Gorsha Vishnu. from ER.
That's Luca.
It's Gorsh. I don't know how to pronounce Gorshnik.
I know his fucking name.
Wasn't he also in Ghost Ship? Or no, was he the husband in Ghost Ship? I can't remember.
You know what? He might have been in Ghost. He didn't have a great Hollywood actress.
He was the husband in the Nicole Kidman, Sandra Bullock one, the witches one.
He's
Practical
also
Magic.
He was also recently.
In a movie. He was the boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
He was the boyfriend.
What was Jen? What movie was he? Remember there was.
I fucking love that movie.
We watched a movie recently where I was like, "Hey, it's the dude from ER." Can't remember what it was, but that's him. Anyways, that's what I remember him from ER. Funny that because he's on a run now, because it was in a movie that we watched that was like a big budget movie where he was one of the smaller characters, but he was still fucking in it.
Bobby just said he's not going to like this video because we yell at him.
Well, how about you don't show up A, an hour late, and B, comment on something that is of the least importance in the entire episode?
What is it?
Of course, anything he can. He thinks we're a Nikki's stream. He wants to talk about lesbians and sexual situations. It's a goddamn movie review show. Ish. Somewhat.
Puzzle. And it's almost finished. Keep going. So if I solve it, do I get a prize? I do.
The way he fucking breathes.
I feel like this dude applied for the job of Vecna and just didn't get it. I was working, you dumb hoe. That's just rude, bro.
Also, Goron was in a few episodes of The Boys.
That's what it was then. That's right. He was the other guy that they were making a deal with in The Boys. That one company. So I don't know why, but I'm seeing the chat in stream, but I'm not seeing that comment.
Yeah. It's not showing up in the...
Not exactly what's going on there. Maybe the bot fucking held it back. That's kind of funny to me if it did, though. My bot is sent blabber.
It's like, we're not going to allow hoes.
They being so...
We don't love them.
He goes right to insulting. Once again, the motherfucker who's an hour late comes in and talks about irrelevant shit, the smallest part of the episode, and I'm the dumb hoe. Check yourself, because you definitely reckon yourself.
But the important thing is that he showed up.
True. Thank you for hanging out an hour late. Masters of Horror.
It has 6 sides, 6 configurations. It opens up and it cuts you. And then they come to collect.
I gotta say, I am really appreciating the fact that it's they come to collect, and they're going to show multiple of these guys. Like, it's not
also,
just Pinhead.
They did away with the traditional leather, and it's their flesh.
Oh, so it's just their flesh thrown about. So it's very much the Cell, the movie you think of Made in Manhattan instead of guy.
I like this part right here. At this next
it does kind of look like this guy's a little bit going with like the Aquaman garb, though. Just like it does look like the thing that Jason Momoa's wearing in Aquaman. Yeah. He's got that gill style, bro.
Catter.
It's time. Greater delights await. We wish to see you proceed. Feed it.
So wait, is this a movie or a television series?
It's a movie. So the Labyrinth is in here. They go all the way up to the Leviathan configuration. That's what you just saw.
Plus unknown what else they go into. Okay.
Yeah, plus everything else.
I couldn't remember if it was a TV show or a movie.
Their blood. Their pain. All for us. What is it you pray for?
Hey, I mean, I don't like the fact that this non-binary looks like a woman. Why does it matter? She looks awesome. She does. They, whatever. It looks fucking awesome.
Oh, it looks so good.
Like, you could tell it's all CG, but it doesn't look bad. Like, it looks good. It makes sense because now it also looks like every one of the pins they stuck in her, they dragged it down and through the flesh to get it in. They didn't stick the pin in. If you look at her face, they treated it like a fucking puzzle, and they stuck the pin in and then drug it to where it needed to go. That's why her face is all squared out with it.
Also, if you look at her neck, it looks like she has gold components of the box.
There's no flesh on her neck either.
No, yeah, you see a little like gold. Like, I think she has components
right along the shoulders. There's also the strips that are missing from those.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
I think they've done a good job with the new Pinhead. My only concern is I do see where this movie can go too much towards the Saw angle. The only thing I mean by that is, like, I hope the writing and the scenarios is clever and smart, and it's not just, you touch the box, here's how we kill you. You touch the box, here's how we kill you. Because it would be entertaining, but it's also somewhat devoid of story if they go that route. You know what I mean?
They did define that you have to make the puzzle, and your blood does have to be drawn from the box. So if you touch the box, you're fine. But if you get your blood drawn by it,
I think it's if your blood's drawn and you solve the puzzle. Yeah. And the next configuration they start collecting.
The only way your blood is drawn is if you solve the puzzle.
So we have two options, right? Option A, as we've talked about before, October 14th live, we will be reviewing the final Michael Myers movie in this Halloween Kills trilogy. It comes out Friday the 14th. We're going to watch it that day, 9 p.m. Central. We will have as close as we can to a spoiler-free review, but there will be spoilers. You know us. That night, here's our options. We either review Hellraiser the same night, 2 new horror movies, or we review Hellraiser the next night or the next week with Hocus Pocus 2. Those are our two options.
Hocus Pocus. I think we review it the next week because isn't that Halloween? I feel like Halloween we're gonna talk about all 3 movies because we have to.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a long. I feel like that's gonna be a long.
I feel like if we're gonna do that, it needs to be a Halloween retrospective. Like, I'm probably gonna pull up like clips and stuff of the old ones leading up, and then we'll have
have to. Like you said, this ends
Silver
it.
Shamrock.
So you have to tie that to the journey. That ending, depending on whatever they do, you have to tie it to the journey.
I think the smartest thing is I'll see if I can find videos of, like, clips of the early beginnings of the Halloween franchise, and then I'll see if there's something on there to catch everybody up to the full. And I think what we're gonna have to do at the minimum is definitely go into depth about this trilogy, because frankly, I know these are all sequels technically to the first one, but this really is its own trilogy. There's basically, in my mind, there's Halloween 1, and then there's this trilogy. And
same.
I mean, I think canon-wise, that's all that exists. So, take
because releasing these 2 movies, he undid all the other ones.
Well, even the third one, I mean, the first one, Halloween, the original, the sequel technically to the original, the beginning of this new trilogy, he undid how much?
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
I mean, the whole his whole psychiatrist movies that he was in and his characters just completely was like that. None of that ever happened.
Jesus.
Like, you're alive still. Or he was alive until he died.
Can you imagine that? If when he came back, he's like, listen, I'll do them, but the rest of these don't fucking matter. Like, well, do it my way.
I think that's very much the way they looked at it. Like, we are doing a direct sequel to Halloween, and none of everything else. Like, don't get me wrong, we'll bring people in. Like, he replaced. They should have brought in Paul Rudd. But once again, the more of that sort of shit you bring in, the more of that canon you kind of bring in as well. And I feel like for them, it was like, no, here's Halloween 1 canon, and then everything else is now what we're adding to that canon. And anything that, was from the rest of the universe is just kind of like Easter eggs. Like, oh, this actor's in there, and, this, and they're bringing back this person. But really, you have to look at it like canon-wise, you have Halloween 1 and this new trilogy, and that's it. They've erased everything else. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm excited, but I want a Jason movie. There's not been a fucking Jason movie since Freddy vs. Jason, I think.
What's going on with
this?
Well, no, there's Jason.
Reboot. Yeah, the reboot.
Yeah, which was really good.
I loved the reboot.
Really good.
I'm actually almost positive. I didn't ask him. I'm almost positive I met the guy who starred as him. He was. If you ever look at him, you'll recognize him as a stuntman from a lot of movies. He was that dude. I think he's got the where he can't grow hair syndrome.
Yeah.
Because when I met him, dude's like 6'7", bald. Fucking, he's not like Schwarzenegger, but he's in great shape. I met him when I worked at Dominic's at that time. I looked at him. I was like, I wanted to be like, you're Jason, aren't you? But it was like 1 a.m. You know, probably should have. Whatever. I met Tim Meadows once. But yeah, so like
at
that.
Dominic's?
Yeah. No, Blockbuster.
Oh.
Irving and Damon, and I actually ran outside because he was just like walking. He was just walking across the street. You remember how Irving and Damon, you had this way going that way, and then you had to go that way to get really across.
Corners.
Yeah.
6 corners.
And so he was just crossing the street. I was like, dude, that's fucking Tim Meadows. And the guy that, I think it was that short dude that worked with us, he was from another store for a while. And he came over and worked with us for a little bit. No. It was another white dude. I can't remember his name. But he was, I mean, everybody's shorter than me, but he was shorter than me. But he was taller than Josh, who was a Chucky doll come to life. But he was slightly taller than that. And I was like, dude, he's like, who? I was like, fuck you. And I ran out. I was like, hey, nice to meet you. And I ran back in. He's like, he probably looked at me like this fat asshole with these. He probably went back to his hotel or apartment because I knew he was from Chicago initially. I think he did Second City. He probably went back to his apartment. Like this fat asshole with a Blockbuster shirt on. It accosted me. I was just trying to. I went to the local Subway. I was just trying to walk back to the apartment.
Little do you know that it was some other guy saying, this guy thought I was Tim fucking Meadows.
This fucking racist. We don't all look alike. I'm over there. Cavatier. The ladies man. Fellas, got anything else for everybody?
I do have something for Crash. Mr. Fabian. Fabian, if you subscribe to the channel and you have the bells and whistles on, it does notify you because it did it to me tonight.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe, buddy.
I actually get more notifications from YouTube than I do from Twitch and any
Oh my god, yeah.
I mean, there's always the
speaking of
possibility
Twitch,
he's got subscriptions off.
So Twitch has 50-50 their highest payers now. Like everybody gets 50-50 enough of this 730 shit, and a lot of people are switching over to YouTube. Like they're losing a lot of big players.
I'm gonna be honest with you. As a fucking streamer, right? Look at what happened to Doc.
Oh god, yeah.
Doc had, I mean, at one point he had hundreds of thousands of people watching him on Twitch. He goes to YouTube, he maxes out 30,000 a stream, 24,000 a stream. Your numbers, A, are going to take a hit. B, I get it. But here's the thing. If you're up at that level of Twitch, right, where you're making 70-30 on the subs, you probably also have sponsorships. You're probably also partnered. You're making more money in tips than you do anything else. So I get it. You're pissed off because you look at it as they're robbing you. I look at it as you got preferential treatment and they're taking it away. Other thing, and here's the thing, Twitch is greedy, right? Name me a company that isn't. Name me a better streaming service for gaming than Twitch. You're going to tell me YouTube, which is all you're doing is streaming to your YouTube page? The reason I don't do YouTube gaming is because there's nothing special about it. You're just streaming to your YouTube page. It doesn't feel like a gaming platform. There's no bells and whistles. Everything's ground up. Facebook One doesn't exist anymore. Facebook is what it is. Once again, you're just streaming to a Facebook page. I'd even argue that Facebook's gaming is a little bit better done for gamers than YouTube gaming.
All right, see that.
They actually have their own category now. That's gaming.
But here's the thing.
Separated.
Nobody wants to fucking talk about all of these fucking streamers that are mad that they're taking away essentially 20% away from their subs, which is what they're doing. If you're a 70-30 right now, they're stealing 20% of your income from your subs. Straight up. But you don't pay for bandwidth. You're not paying for any. It's a goddamn business. Do you know how much money Twitch spends to run servers? Between bandwidth, the server decks themselves to be able to have, like, if you're a streamer, all of these websites, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, doesn't matter. They make it incredibly easy to get your ugly fucking face on the internet. And it's things you don't even have to worry about. As long as you can do the minuscule tasks of setting up Streamlabs or OBS or Stream Elements, if you can do that, you can be a streamer. All because these companies are taking the front load of the server and the data and everything and housing it for you. Easy peasy.
there's a streamer I watch called Asmongold.
He was big in the fight against Blizzard.
Yeah, he hasn't been on his Asmongold channel for months because he makes so much money. He's actually streaming from his secondary channel, which is not monetized at all. He doesn't allow the ads to pop up. You can't even subscribe. Like, he took it off completely. He did the calculations. He's costing Twitch hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just streaming on that fucking.
But see, he's not though, because like he's costing it compared to his other customer base, right? And here's the thing: I guarantee you, if his income started to dip, he'd be right back on his Asmongold channel because money. He still has to make money. But here's the thing: you're not costing them anything. You're just not getting them the revenue. You're not giving them the revenue from that. Like, you're not losing money because for real, if that guy doesn't stream, you're not making the money, right? So if you're at an absolute zero from what the profit can be, and anything above that, then you're not losing. You're just right at that point. You're not making. And I get it, but I like Asmongold. But it is also kind of a self-righteous thing to be like, nah, dude, this is my free one. I fuck Twitch, so I'm gonna cost them a bunch of money. It's like, you don't understand. If Twitch collapses, everything does. You will have the influx to YouTube, but guess what? YouTube censors harsher for silly things, and I'm not even talking about just copyrights. All of this sexual shit that Twitch allows, YouTube it's gone. You're not going to be able to stream that shit on YouTube.
There was
Twitch with gambling too. Twitch by October 18th, a lot of the gambling is disappearing. I think only sports gambling is allowed.
Slot machine, yeah. They're getting rid of
I will be
slot
honest with
machines
you. We live in a world where Overwatch can't do loot boxes because it's gambling. Why would we be allowing that on Twitch anyways?
No, I agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah, no, they should have got rid of it.
If a loot box in Overwatch is deemed gambling, why the fuck would I allow some asshole on my streaming service to fucking stream out slots? No, you don't get to do that. Sorry. But people think that YouTube and then you got even guys like Doc and Tim the Tatman running their mouth about Twitch. Doc's got his own personal hatred. Tim the Tatman switched over to YouTube to game with Doc, and he was lucky because he had already started building up his YouTube platform. Tim the Tatman. He already had a YouTube channel that was strong and all that, but like your average asshole like me going from Twitch to YouTube benefits not at all. I never got the 70-30. I've always had the 50-50. My audience right now is at Twitch. Like your average small gamer who has this idea that they're so good, and it's not the fact that their content is boring, that they look at their phone all the way through the stream, that they don't engage their audience, that they fucking eat on camera, that they treat the camera like you should appreciate my presence. You're not gaining a goddamn thing from going to YouTube. Like, if you're somebody who puts in the effort and engages your audience and does a good stream, regardless of what you play. I mean, we have streamer friends that do fucking puzzles and shit like that on stream, and they've got a great audience that watch them. So it's in my opinion, it's about the content. Like, if you're, like I said, if you're somebody that is a good streamer, you may have success on whatever platform you go to. But if you're one of these people that go, well, once I'm on YouTube, man, this Twitch shit's no longer going to hinder me. You'll continue being nothing. If you honestly think that your success relies upon you going over to YouTube because of a subscription share price that you never got to take advantage of anyways, you're blowing smoke out your ass. Like, if you are somebody that lost 10 grand a month, 20, if that's 20% of your income from subs, I understand. But understand this, you're going to lose 100% of that sub income unless you come back like Doc had a base, Doc had controversy, Doc had a story. The big ones will be fine no matter where they go. The middle ground to low guys, you don't have a lot to gain by switching platforms. Big guys can do whatever they want. Big guys can go, the Doc can go stream on Rumble and have the same success.
The other problem with Twitch is their like monetization is horrible. Like I've clicked on streamers just to check them out, and I feel bad for small streamers. And you get hit immediately like 8 fucking things you have to wait through.
There's
like,
some people that have 7 fucking ads.
You can set that though. That's the thing though. That's the other thing is I agree, and my stream is probably one of them. But here's the thing. This is gonna sound bad. In the long run, I am not here to solely provide you for free entertainment. And if you are going to utilize my platform for free entertainment, then you deal with ads.
But 7 ads in a row?
That's up to the streamer. You can set how much of a density on your you can turn pre-roll ads off completely. You can set your density to within certain margins. You could also turn off automatic ads completely. And within the Twitch studio, go, all right, guys, we're going to do an ad break. And do a 2-minute ad break. That's the thing is we want, these are people that don't try anything. They don't explore the software. These are the same streamers that don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? Even the middle ground guys, their mods do everything for them. So the idea of like, it's out of your control is untrue. I'm in the Twitch environment. I'll tell you right now, you can turn off ads completely. And then in your Twitch studio, as you're streaming, say, and I'm going to start doing this. And say, hey guys, taking a 2-minute ad break. You hit your 2-minute ad break, you got a stream deck, you can assign the fucking ad break to your stream deck. So all you got to do is say, hey guys, doing a 2-minute ad break, and then hit the button and you're on a fucking ad break and your subscribers will see you. So you're still live. And here's the thing. I mean, if you're somebody, right, that is on Twitch, that's your main sort of, or if all you watch is streamers, and that's your main source of entertainment, and you're not subscribed, and you're not donating or doing something to help that streamer financially, fuck you. Enjoy your ads. If you watch people and you just take the free entertainment, then the minimum you can do is be part of my ads ratio and watch I don't give a fuck if it's 10 ads before the stream starts. This is free to you. And I get it. You can go click on some other streamer. No problem. I can go watch a different TV show. It's the same logic. The point of the matter is you don't pay for any, you didn't pay for my setup. You don't pay for the games I buy to play. You don't pay for anything. And unless you are, shut the fuck up. If you're subscribed, you won't see ads. If you give that one person that if it's, you love to watch, but you're going to stop watching because of the ads, all you have to do is give them $4.99. It's September. You can give them $3.99 and you have a month of ad-free programming from supposedly a streamer you love.
The only thing I don't like is, like, let's say I find a streamer that I want to check out and say, hey, this is somebody new. I want to check it out. As soon as I click on it, I got to sit through 7 ads. That's my problem.
I understand. I do it too.
I don't mind the ads. What I do mind is I'm going to see this person for the first time and I'm hit with fucking ads and I got to sit there and wait.
But once again, that is also, you are talking about a convenience of ADD as a consumer.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say that's a problem with the industry. That's a problem with us, and I'm the same. I have YouTube Premium because I got tired of fucking ads. But
I'm thinking about buying it too.
Don't give me your email. I'll put you on mine. I get up to 5.
Here's something that happens with Twitch though. Is like, let's say you are watching them, and then they are going to run ads in between. And it actually does run the ad, but you can still see them up in the top corner.
Those I don't mind.
I do like
that's
those.
Fine.
The more
that's
unintrusive
fine.
ads. Yeah.
So you can still watch the action. You just can't hear shit. Okay, I'll watch the ads while it's going. I don't mind that. My whole thing is just at the beginning, as soon as you log in, you shouldn't be hit with an ad.
Brother, it's a free platform. And I'm not sticking up for Twitch, but my opinion as a streamer who's trying to make money with this, it's no different than if you watch Hulu free, if you watch Prime free videos, if you watch Vudu free videos. I don't understand why we as a consumer feel that free entertainment should have no catch. I got to make money as a streamer. The company's got to make money as a company. Why are we so entitled to think that, like, I get it. It's annoying. I run into it all the time where it's like, I'm going to raid this person because Jen has recommended them. Oh, fuck, I got fucking a minute and a half of ads to watch. I get it. It's frustrating. But on the outset, you are watching me for free. If you are entertained by me and you do not subscribe, you do not donate, you are taking my content, ingesting it, and processing it for free. So in my opinion as a streamer, no problem. But I'm going to do what, if we're all talking, I don't want to spend the money, I don't have the money, whatever your excuse is, then I don't have any sadness for you have to watch 7 ads when I'm trying to make money too. Now, I do get it how it could, like, in our ADD society, a minute of ads is like, oh, fuck this thing. Like, I guess I'm not going to check this guy out. Now, I don't agree with that policy, but I get it. The real problem is if you put on a streamer and then you go over to a different tab, and then because you're not watching that ad, it corrupts the fucking feed, and then you got to restart and you're back at 7 ads again. That's bullshit.
I've seen that happen. Yeah,
that is plug-in fucking farce. I'll argue against is just horseshit. But like, I'm sorry, but this whole argument it just rings of entitlement. If you were getting the 70-30, I get it. You're correct. They're taking 20% away of the money that you were getting. But what do you do besides provide your content, which is you playing a game, essentially, or you doing whatever activity you do? That's all you do. You don't pay for the servers, you don't pay for the housing, you don't pay for the website, you pay for nothing. You don't even, you can make money off of Twitch and spend nothing. So it is what it is. It's a business. Go over to YouTube. More than likely cut your following in a third if you have a big following, and see what you can do from there. Go to Facebook, which all of these, excuse me. My throat is just getting really fucking dry. All of these people, we knew streamers that did it. Next thing you know, it's all we're gonna you know, and then you'd ask them, why are you doing Facebook? If you don't have so many followers, you only get 720p 30 to start out with. You gotta have 100 followers.
Yeah, they're doing incentivized like to get 1080, you have to have a certain amount to get.
And so
yeah, I've seen that.
We had buddies that we were streaming with, and every time I said, "Why are you on Facebook fucking streaming?" They go, "Well, it's free." Well, you're not making money. You're a long way from making money. So, all of these streamers, I'm going to Facebook, man, because they don't have any fees, right, man? And it's like, okay, but you're not making money anyways. Baby, and say, okay, bro, it's because you are ranting, LOL. What is because I'm ranting? Your erection has gone soft? I feel like every time you comment, there's another sentence that you just forgot to type in.
Yeah, there's something
talking about your dry throat.
Yeah, it is because I'm ranting. Very much so. But yeah, that was a tangent. I didn't mean to go on. It's just, as a streamer, I've been seeing these articles, and it's just like, I'm not even on Twitch's side. I think they should I think subscriptions should be 70-30 across the board. They're not subscribing to Twitch, they're subscribing to me.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think it should be more in general, but like I said, there's overhead that we don't pay for. Like I said, if you've got a mobile phone, if you've got a PC already, if you've got an Xbox, if you've got a PS5, that's all you need to make money for free. If you're good at it, and me, I'm still small, I've made a little bit of money on Twitch, but still, you don't have to pay them anything to make money. It's just they've got the setup and you can generate it with them. At that premise, they got bills to pay too. That's all I'm saying. But you have these, go over to YouTube. Dr. Disrespect, one of the biggest streamers, he's been doing it for a decade plus, had a huge following. I mean, I'm talking 100,000 people watching him at once on Twitch. I was there. I was one of them. Moves over to YouTube. I think his first stream, the most he got was 46,000 or 50,000.
Yeah, he didn't crack like 50K.
So he didn't. That means if he was getting 100,000 per stream viewing on his Twitch, that means he cut his audience in relative half. How? How did he cut it in half? Is it bots? That's another thing that nobody's talked about with Twitch. How many of you? I ban bots from my lobby all the time. So they stop popping up. So, just like Twitter, we don't know how many bots are out there. I always look up these bot accounts, and they never have videos of their own. They've always streamed other. It's always bullshit, and those siphon views from you because they go to their site and not yours. So, that's the thing is, Twitch needs to start. Let me get some numbers. Twitch, you're going to start charging me more. What percentage of my audience is bots?
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to go into that, you want to open yourself up to lawsuits, Twitch, of gamers going, well, you're stealing 20% from me. I'm going to sue you, so now you have to put out all your accounting. If we do a class action lawsuit, Twitch, you then have to open up your accounting and show it legally.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's a downfall of Twitch. I think we are a stupid reactionary society that people who aren't even making money on Twitch going, oh, fucking Twitch, and I'm going to YouTube. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Do what you're going to do. You going from one platform to the other is not going to make you any better unless, it's, like this, where this content can be on Twitch, probably more suited for YouTube. But yeah, that's my rant on it. I hate when people say that. It really grinds my gears. I fucking hate it. Anybody, if you're around me and you want to complain about something and you use the phrase grinds my gears, I'm going to elbow smash you in the fucking head. I hate it.
I believe Anthony used to hate the words "roll with the punches."
Me too. Hey, no. Oh, him and I shared that hate. You want to know why? At the time that where I started to hate it was I was dating someone that he knew.
Yeah, it also goes back to Rockford days.
Yes, and there was somebody that was friends of the woman or the girl I was dating, and it was I think he had formerly. It was the one that Fabi decided to do lewd acts with under blankets in my house at one point.
Ooh,
and
really, Fabi?
Yeah, I mean, it was weird in the early days, like when I first started dating her. Fabian.
What was his name?
Dennis. In the early days when I first started dating, her name was Steph, and Fabian went with me out to Rockford, and it was a weird thing. Like, we're two city kids, and we end up in fucking Harvard, Illinois, in like actual legitimate country suburbs. You know, it's like 25 minutes, 30 minutes outside of Rockford. So it's that weird like white people suburban country fucked upness. Where the first weekend I slept over,
everybody who left the ghetto moved out to fucking Rockford.
Well, the one night I slept under their pool table with the girl I was seeing, like it was just weird, right? And it was just a weird situation. And I had actually reconnected with Lewis through that because there's been moments where Lewis and I haven't talked.
Somehow they knew each other.
Well, yeah, they all went to school out there together.
Lewis pops up. Matt goes to a house party. He's like, "Where do I put my coat?" That closet. He opens up. There's Lewis. Like, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Oh, I was jerking off in here, buddy. What's up?
He's doing coat check. Here's your ticket. What the fuck?
I have had weird coincidences like that. You guys remember David?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went to high school together, and we're in high school, and I liked this one girl, and you guys remember Rob, the traitorous fuck?
Yeah.
The one who did our original artwork, that piece of garbage.
Good artwork though.
Great artist. Total spineless beta male. That's the nicest I can be about it, frankly. So anyways, I agreed to go to a movie with him because he was going and this girl that I liked was going. Our other friend was driving, and then there was another couple that was coming I didn't know, right? I get in the fucking car and David's in the car. He looks at me, he goes, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm dating her." And that was a terrible story. He literally gave her his class ring because I guess he watched a movie. And in the movie, it was like, "Hey, man, you got to give that class ring." And then his feelings were hurt because she mailed it back to him.
At least you got it back.
Well, that's what I said. Like, he called me and he's like, "Dude, she fucking mailed my ring back to me." And I was like, "Wait, you got it back?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Sell it." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, if you don't want it, sell it. If not, keep it. At least you got it back. It's yours."
Yeah, that's fucking something good out of that situation.
I don't know. I didn't. I knew people in high school, but I didn't date people. You know, Alex dated a lot of people, a lot of men. It was the 80s.
I was a whore though, but no, my wife met like a couple of my ex-girlfriends.
I don't understand why you just didn't kill them as immediately. Just saw them in the radar, just fucking snuff them.
It was a funny situation. Every time my wife would meet like an ex-girlfriend, she'd be like, "Really, that's your ex?" And then like we talked for a little bit. She goes, I'm starting to not be jealous." And I was like, "What do you mean starting to not be jealous?" She goes, I get how dating in America is. I was like, "Oh, okay." So
when Steph and I were dating and we lived together, we lived in the apartment above my ex-girlfriend, and she didn't know till we moved out.
And weren't they both the same name?
Yep, they're both Stephanies.
I remember
a little different, right?
When you were in grammar school, you were dating Brittany, and she didn't work there. She happened to be at the Quick Stop over on Belmont at the same time I was in there, and we were riding our bikes, and it was with a couple buddies, and
it's an apartment building.
Like
now.
We were like, "Is it really?"
Yeah.
And we were like joking around with the guy because we knew the guy because we were going in there all the time. And apparently she didn't understand the dynamic, and she started to like scold me. It was like, "Matthew," because she thought she knew me because she knew you. That women understand.
Did she call you by your last name?
She did.
Mr. Blah blah.
She did, and I understand this, ladies. If you're fucking a guy and you're with him, you don't know his friends. Don't act like you know his friends. Don't act like your words have any sway to his friends. Just a word of advice from a guy. Especially if you're just entering the group, do not assume they are cool with you. You are dealing with animals. And you have no grounds to walk on with his friends until you are brought in.
I had that same situation when my wife met my friends. We would joke around with each other, and I've always been a big guy, and some of their jokes would always be about big guy jokes, but I would always give it back. My wife only heard their side about how they, talk to me. And she goes, I don't think your friend should be talking to you like that. And like, she like tried to defend me one time. And I was like, slow down. I was like, no. Slow down.
You do not know the dynamic.
I was like, why are you fucking getting involved in this? She goes, they're talking shit about you and I'm going to defend you. She goes, are you going to do the same for me? I was like, no. I was like, they're not talking shit about me. I go, that's how we talk to each other.
Yeah, no, women may talk shit about each other and be catty. If you walk up to me, what's up, fat shit? I'm going to insult you right back. And we go on with our happy, merry fucking day. It's not an insult. It's just, hey, buddy, what's up? I don't know if women have that. I'm assuming that some do. I think the average collective of women don't have that kind of guy banter. Fabian says, Jen, we are friends.
Jen, we are friends.
Well, Jen's been in it for quite some time now. This isn't week one, and she's still bitching about Watchmen.
Or
you can comment. I see it on your face.
I saw you looking over at it.
I'm not saying anything.
Did she not like the movie Watchmen?
No.
Oh, no.
We've heard the story multiple times.
No.
Yeah,
let's hear it again.
Fucking dragging it out.
No, let's hear it from Jen's point of view.
You know what?
Let's hear it
if
from
we're going to
Jen's
hear
point of
this
view.
story,
Go ahead,
she's got to tell it.
No, we'll save that for another night.
We'll do a bonus episode. That's the Patreon episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. If we learned anything, if you want to hear quality entertainment, you got to pay for it, motherfuckers.
That was my motto when I was a Bigelow. All right, guys. We all have our hot dogs, including Jen. Jen, we're going to force a 2.5 on so she's unified. 2.5, 3. That doesn't work for me. I need definites. And you don't. If I ask you a question, it isn't sure. It's yes or no. God damn it. Precise. I used to have a high school gym teacher. His whole thing was swift and accurate, and he knew he was a fucking goon because he would say it about everything. Like he would tell kids like swift and accurate attendance, like shit that just doesn't make sense. Like how can attendance be swift and accurate? Anyways,
just be there.
Jen is funny fuck. Wait, Jen is funny as fuck. Sorry, there's a delay.
It didn't show up. It didn't show up. So
it's showing up.
It's delayed.
It's showing up on the screen itself. It's delayed in the actual chat. I don't know what's up with that. It might be because of the Streamlabs chatbot. Which,
banned.
if that's the case, I'm getting rid of the Streamlabs chatbot. For YouTube at least. But yes, we will be back. Next week is different. We will be releasing we won't be having a live episode next week. The first episode of Halloween month is going to be a recorded episode. It is what we are recording next. Well, I mean,
pay attention, Fabi.
We'll let you guys know more of what's going on because there is some stuff we got to discuss because I am taking the first weekend of October off for the 7th through the whatever off. And that is
the first through the 9th.
Week. Now, we're going to talk about what to do because the options essentially are we record an episode and we throw it out there the first week of October when I'm not here, or we do it live and then I edit it and throw it out and re-release it. And that first episode, whether it be recorded or live, is going to be us watching Night of the Living Dead, the original.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
It is public domain. We can stream it. We can do whatever we want with it. So we'll get that figured out exactly if we're going to go live next week or if we're going to record it. If we go live next week, I think the idea is we do it. We take the next week off, and I just edit what I need to edit out, and we repost it, eventually.
Okay.
Ultimately, just pay attention to the social medias of Nerdattude. That's where you'll find weekly schedules and all that good stuff.
The Discord, the Instagram, the social media, the Twitter. Jen is all up on those for me. She has taken over that for me, and she's doing a very good job. She's posting shit, informing you guys better than I did. I'm very lazy with that, and that's my fault.
Can you include all that stuff in the description after this video is over?
Include all of what?
Like your Discord, your your Twitch, and your So you find everything in there and find all your information there.
Yeah, if you're watching this and it isn't live, which I'm going to presume most people that do watch are not going to be watching because we don't have many viewers. But if you're watching this and it's just on the YouTube and it's not live, I'll have the Discord and the Twitch channel will be posted in there. We'll post all the links, my link tree, check it all out, as well as I'll throw the link for the movie. The problem is everything's a streaming service now, and I don't know if I'm actually sharing a link to the product or if it's going to share a link to the just log in to HBO Max page. And I don't want to be putting links in the description of just log in to HBO Max. So
well, you can actually type it into the description. Hey, I found this movie on such and such. Like actually type in the description.
Watch Vengeance on Pornhub today.
Yeah,
there you go. Pornhub.com.
All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. We will see you guys soon. We'll let you know exactly what's up. We're either going live next week or we're not. We'll let you know. Check out the Instagrams and the socials, as Jen is saying she's running that, so you'll be talking to her. Including the Facebook. We're going to try to do more with the Facebook, whatever that is, including maybe potentially streaming to the Facebook we're looking at. Doing YouTube and Facebook streams. If that's your kind of platform, but I don't love Facebook. I recently just got an account restriction because they took a photo that I posted in 2019, and for whatever reason, the algorithm this time decided to give it a shit. And
somebody who saw it didn't like it.
Yeah, so on my personal Facebook, I can't go live right now. I can't advertise or anything because I don't think it was somebody, because a buddy of mine posted the exact same photo and the exact same thing happened to him, which tells me that they put something new in the automated algorithm that flagged it, and it's bullshit. It's more political meddling.
They put the Biden algorithm in it.
Well, it wasn't even. It was just, it was a photo. It was a joke meme of Joe Biden's kid in his underwear from the laptop of the photos of him smoking crack, and they flagged it as though I was sharing somebody's personal photos.
But wasn't that like public information that was leaked?
Yes. But they made it seem like I was trying to post revenge porn.
Oh my god.
It was under that, guys. So we will see you guys soon. Check everything out. We'll let you know. On that note, on that note, social media is nothing but a government arm. Don't trust the government. Bye! What do you salute?